Okay, let's run it. Okay. Well, anyways, welcome to Unkillable Warlord 2025 Grim Dawn Beginner's Guide. We're gonna go over a couple things. We're gonna play it from fresh, completely new save on hardcore only. Um, TLDR for the build, we're gonna go for high regen, high damage absorption, and an absolute ton of damage on blitz. Most people would go. Most people would actually go. Like retaliation in this case, but blitz is an absolute ton of damage. So we will be able to face tank all celestials. I'm pretty sure if we planned it out right, we should be able to kill Crate as well. But that's like in-game goal. So we're gonna do a full guide 0 to hero. And we're gonna live stream the whole thing. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So let's have a great time. Any questions or anything like that, we'll kind of answer along the way about gear and devotions, and we'll have everything put in the tags as well. Yeah, Blitz Warlord is a really good guide. We're gonna name the character Face Meet Shield. That's what we're gonna name the character. Face Meet Shield. Yep, that's pretty good to me. I'm gonna call that a win. There's a lot of cool things you can do very early in the game with Blitz Warlord. There's a lot of things you can pick up very early in the game that make you very strong, very early. And then you can ride that out pretty much through the rest of the campaign into Ultimate, and then make a couple slight changes towards the end. I am gonna skip the cutscenes because after 4,000 hours in this game, we're just gonna blow past them. We're gonna go over everything as we do it. Of course, you're gonna want to set up your hotkeys. I have dodge on space. You're gonna want to get all your quests started. There's kind of quicker ways to do things every once in a while. I personally, even though we're going shield and sword, we are gonna go pick up Orlurian's axe, which is a beginner's weapon on the right hand side of lower crossing. I kind of want to showcase there are a couple locations where you can pick up starter weapons, which are really good. We'll go kind of pick up all three of them real fast, and we'll take a look at them real quick together, okay? But other than that, it's a pretty simple process from the beginning. All we're going to do is we're going to go to lower crossing, we're to level. You can start Oathkeeper or Warlord, or Soldier, sorry, it doesn't really matter. I prefer the Soldier start just to get Blitz early. We're gonna go to this house right here, right off the side of the map. There is a pistol called Francis's Gun, which is one of those beginning items I was telling you about. It will always drop here with at least a prefix or a suffix on it. It's a really good gun to do if you're going to do Inquisitor, but the best item you can do for this build in the beginning technically is the maul you get from this first little mini boss over here. I do want to go over the other locations for the drops though. These are static, which is cool. The maps in Grim Dawn never actually change. The pathing changes sometimes every once in a while. Oops, I passed it. Then you've got the two-handed Thunder Sword, Havel's Greatsword, which is always a really good pickup if you're doing like a two-handed Druid build or anything like that, Thunder-based. And then you have Orlurian's Axe, which is right down here. So we're going to go to the right here. We're going to pop into this little house right here. And this dead body right there as your boy Orlurian. Ullman's Axe, sorry, which is a cold axe, which always has Ice Spike on it. There's a couple cool things you can do. You slap that bad boy on real quick. But Balrog the Bloodied has the bludgeon we're going to use. He always drops it no matter what you do. And it's a ton of early game physical damage. This one's really good, actually. With bleed. Wow. Flat physical damage and bleed on it. And attack speed. Which is nice. We don't keep it permanently. It's okay, but the early game stats on it are just nice to have when you're just starting out. You don't have anything in storage or anything else like that. One could argue, yeah, like, if you're later in the game, you know, a lot of people don't pick up like common items or yellow items, but when you're starting fresh, you're gonna take all the resistances you possibly can. That's just gonna be a big thing that you're gonna have to focus on. Don't be like me when we're not doing a guide, and you know, don't buy certain things, or you know, don't pick up anything that's not green gear until you're level 60, because you'll die. Go ahead and use all your notes that you picked up too for free experience. You can go pick up the ones up in here as well. There is 2 notes right up in this little building right here. Good early game experience. You don't have to worry about much. The beginning isn't that bad. I honestly, if you're not rushing it, pushing to Warden Krieg and just kind of slowly taking your time, you should be safe and fine. We're going to go ahead and pump a bunch of points into our base bar right here for raw stats so we can get to Blitz. That's going to be really, really good for you early. That's going to give you a bunch of HP, a bunch of physique, cunning, and a little bit of spirit and flat HP. See how this is blocked off? Sometimes it's not. That's why I said they're static but not static at the same time. So it's kind of like a 50-50 shot. Also, we're not paying attention to the map. We're absolutely winning right now. If you take your time and you kill everything, you should be level 5 before you get to the first like technically like the first boss, which is Kaizog. I do recommend doing that on your first playthrough if you are playing hardcore, just to kind of, you know, get as much experience, as much like stats as you possibly can, because if you're new, you might make a mistake and you might die, and you'd be like, oh, I don't want to play Grim Dawn anymore. I died in the very beginning of the game. This is lame. Also, make sure to pick up Faldis. It's a side quest a lot of people just bypass. So when you pass this bridge over here, whichever way you come, if you come from the left or you come from the right, make sure you hit this house up, because they'll be back in town. It's free experience. So we need, yeah, we'll get Blitz right when we get to Kaizog. Blitz is really, really nice because not only does it do your offhand damage, it also does damage when you're using a shield. So it's kind of like a double proc. It does basically percent physical damage with your shield. So it scales really well with tank builds. It kind of like gives you a really good starter point, and it's really, really safe. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you hear me humming to myself, it's because I'm playing music, but it cuts out in the video, so it won't be in there. So it's gonna look a little awkward when I'm just kind of like staring into space, humming with myself. One of the really big things I think a lot of players do miss early is it's kind of explained, but we'll go over components when we get back to town. They're very, very crucial to survivability, especially late game, but even more so early game. There's really good ones that'll help you stay alive. Should probably put... There we go. Make sure you kill all these little aether clusters too, and see if you can manage to get 5 aether crystals before you get back to town. Well, I'll tell you why here in a second when we go back our first trip back. I will say this is a little weird for me to do, since in the community for Grim Dawn, we're known for doing very unconventional, like, dumb builds. But I figure with Fangs coming out and everything else like that, it's going to bring a lot of new people into Grim Dawn, so it'll be cool for people to have like a good starting point. Okay, so we hit 5 before we hit Kazog. We're gonna put 1 point in here to hit 10 points, right? So you need at least 10 points in your base stats here to unlock Blitz, right? And we're gonna put 2 points in Blitz. We're gonna put it on right click. It has a cooldown on it, right? Which, okay, that's fair. But when we actually do hit with it, which we haven't hit once with it yet, except the minions, which is nice. You see how we're doing like 400 damage chunks to him when we actually do hit him? It does a tremendous amount of damage early. So that's Kaizog. That's 2 items. Nothing real special about that. These patchwork leggings are actually going to be really good because of the flat res on them. Kazakh Skull is really good for some of the more technical builds later on in the game, but Blitz Warlord is pretty self-explanatory. There's a couple items we'll pick up early that'll make it really, really good. Like, we're going to pick up one of them after here. Devotions are interesting. So when you hit these Devo shrines for devotion points, you have to basically pay tribute to them or fight mobs. This is your devotion tree. We're gonna start out definitely pretty tanky. We'll need to get a couple things to actually do damage later. Okay, Nis. Love you, buddy. So what it really needs to boil it down to is we're gonna need minus physical resistance, because that makes sense. When we get a little deeper into the build, we'll kind of go over a lot more complicated things and kind of work through a lot of the deeper mechanics. But for now, we're going to get Turtle. Turtle's a shield that pops at 50% health. That basically is going to keep you alive, and there's a lot of good raw stats in it early, especially for tanky builds. The 20 flat armor on Turtle isn't really well explained. So, like, when you pick up 20 armor on Turtle, right? It doesn't give you just 20 armor. It gives you 20 flat armor to everything you're wearing, including your belt, your shoes, your gloves, your shoulders, pants, everything, helmet and all. So that's why it's really, really good. It's an all-around just good little spot to be in. So Turtle requires 1 yellow point, so we'll pick up Crossroads here for 1 yellow. And then we'll just be done with it there. Is any of this good at all? I mean, we'll take that ring just because it's got health regeneration on it. Never stop to look at the gear because you never know what you might want to pick up just to survive a little bit more later. That 2% life regen could save your life. You never know. You could be fighting a boss later on, and if you didn't have that plus two life regen per second, you might die. I mean, this doesn't translate very well until, you know, like when you've got copious amounts of hours in the game like I do, or, you know, shout out to @Wrecked by Protoss, you know, or Morndale in the community, and Renin and Hisuitos. Like, when you hit uncopious amounts of hours, you can get away with doing dumb stuff, but I would not recommend it in the beginning. So we've hit 6. Best case scenario, we're going to put a couple more points into Blitz just for the flat damage. So Blitz does 195% of my main hand damage and 195% of my offhand damage, plus a flat 256 flat damage, which is insane. It is a ton of damage early. Yes, it's got a cooldown, but the potential to one-shot things early in the game, just absolutely perfect. Huge fan of it. So we'll go turn this quest in because we killed Kaizeg. So our boy over here, remember I told you got to pick up those Aether Crystals? So Kasparov, he's going to tell you that he wants to research the Aether Crystals. You get through the quest. You can read all the lore and stuff you want to, but he requires 5 Aether Crystals. If you give them to him, he gives you a free stat point. Or a skill point, sorry. So then we get to put another point in Blitz, and we didn't even level. We'll come over here. Talk to our boy Harmon. Harmon's going to give us a quest to go hunt down some elites that are in the zone. Those are always really good. And then Barnabas, you need 5 scrap for this. Sometimes you can get really, really lucky in the early game and get it really, really quickly. If you do that part of the quest later, it's totally fine. It's not like a huge loss if you have to do it later. And then one of your biggest upgrades, that's Faldus that we found, remember? See, we get scrap from him, and then we get Faldus. Faldus is really good. You get that 1 scrap guaranteed, gets you closer to 5, even if you don't have good RNG. Sybil is really, really nice. Well, for 2 reasons. She gives you a really good starter necklace for basically finding her husband, Milton. But turns out Milton's basically like an undead guy, and then you gotta kill him and then bring back his heart. But he drops a piece of gear that we actually need. Hey, Mondi, what's going on, buddy? So I'm gonna teleport back to the old dump. We're gonna see if we can get really, really lucky. Sometimes there's a cave entrance right here. I cannot remember the name of the mob, but there's a mob in there that drops a really good starter shield. Like a really, really good starter shield. Is it past... Bones is it? It's not... I can't remember. It's like P something. I can't remember that boss's name. Monty, how are you, friend? So the damage early game on Blitz is just ridiculous. Like, we could probably just sit here and right-click and be perfectly fine, right? Look at that. W's, right? We're just going to come over here, and we're just going to keep speed running through things. We're actually going to go try and find that the cave we were talking about. It's got 3 locations it can spawn. One of them is right here. It can spawn up in the top left over here on the map, and it has a chance to spawn in the bottom right. So we're actually going to go look at it for the shield in the beginning. We're not going to use it for very long, because we switch into a different shield at the end of the first chapter boss, which is Warden Krieg. Hey, there we go. We got lucky. Cool. Nice time. I'm currently trying soldier class. Nice, Monty. Well, we're doing a full breakdown, so and we're running Unkillable Blitz Warlord. So you're in luck, my friend. Oh, my pizza just got here. That is unfortunate timing. So
I'm doing my stretches. I'm gonna put this in here, and I'm gonna go eat.
Okay. So we're gonna come to the Putrid Den as early as we can. Be very, 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 very careful in here on hardcore. All this green stuff on the floor is all poison water, and you will take damage in it. So if you don't feel like randomly dying for no reason, do not stand in it. Pascal, the boss in here, is going to do a massive amount of damage to you, and disrespect you in every manner. No matter what you do, because you don't have any poison and acid resistance, but we really, really, really absolutely want his shield early. So we're gonna move him onto flat ground because we don't want to fight him in the poison. You fight Pascal in the poison, plus Quill, you're gonna die. Unless like you weirdly went like super high regen early, which is totally fine. There we go. Pasquale's tail is actually pretty good for Nightblade builds. It's actually really good, but what I wanted was the buckler. The buckler's got a ton of stats we wanted, and it's always going to have Seismic Blast. Where to farm Celestial Lotus? Ooh, sick. That's a tough question. You're going to want to go to Forgotten Gods and spend at least... oh boy, bud. A lot of time. Or you can farm them in Shattered Realms. Shattered Realms is a really good place to get them as well. So I'd recommend doing like probably SR like 10. SR 10 and then just repeating the SR 10 loop. And then you can get Celestial Lotuses there pretty quickly. But you also have to have a build that can survive in Shattered Realms. This buckler is ridiculous early game, by the way. It gives you flat stats, poison res. It can roll some pretty great things on it. Yeah. You can also get it from the special guest. Yeah. There's like there's a whole map that you can get it from too. Like you start in the beginning of Forgotten Gods, and then there's locations that chest spawns like all the way through FG from a certain spot, and there's only one of them that spawns every instance, and it's a rough farm. We're gonna dump all of our points into physique, by the way. This will change much later, but for survivability reasons, early we're gonna grab physique. Sek, are you trying to find the item to fight Calgera? Is that what you're talking about? The Calgera item? Boop. So, a couple cool things we're going to do here in a second. We're going to pick up 1 point in the shield training, and we'll tell you why here in a second when we go kill Milton. Milton, the Shambler, and Warden all have items that drop from them, and they're bosses that all help blitz damage very, very early. To the point to where we'll get to the point to where we'll have at least almost maxed out blitz early game with not very much investment, which will lead to us doing a ton of damage. Boom, 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 boom. Also would like to talk about an item apparently everybody has forgotten about. Like, and I mean everybody. I don't know why. But nobody seems to pick it up, or maybe I'm just the weird one, Bones, but nobody picks up Isaac Spalders anymore. And I have no idea why. It's such a good, like, fresh start item. Make sure you pick up all these silk necklaces. You'll need them for a quest here pretty shortly. You need 3 of them at least. That's another one of those things where, like, you can get really, really lucky, or you can get really, really unlucky, and then you go cry. I mean, yeah, you could farm better shoulders pretty easily. Yeah, I mean, technically, yes, but technically, you're not wrong. So now that we've got 8 in Blitz and we've got 1 in Shield Training, we're going to point spam all the way over to Blindside. Blindside's going to give us a lot more damage into Blitz, and it's also going to give us more targets we can hit with it, because at the moment, we can only hit 3 targets maximum. When we pick up Blindside, we can hit up to 8. I mean, personally, I think it's not bad for, like, if you get a good roll on it, it's not bad to keep at all. That's just me, though. Maybe I'm just weird. I know all of us have, like, our own little, like, quirks in the community that we're, like hills we die on, you know what I mean? Make sure to do all the quests and unlock the teleporter. Very weird? Yeah, understandable. That scrap we just picked up is cool, because we can go back later and then go do the other side quest for Barnabas real quick. I do die on those hills, like when we died because we refused to get turtle. Dying on the I refused to get turtle hill. That one hurt. That one hurt. I'm not gonna lie. Boop. Okay. This is Milton Hart. Milton Hart's basically, if you were playing a tank, you are playing a wet noodle fight at this point if you don't have enough damage. And he's going to heal right there. When he gets about to halfway down, he's going to heal every time. I mean, base armor is very, very important since the rework on armor, yes. No, you're right. So we're going to pick up Milton's Heart Note, right? That's free experience. We're going to pick up Heart's Amulet. This is what I wanted. So Milton's Cask is very, very good early game. It gives you no matter what, it gives you Aether resistance, which is really, really good for getting to Krieg, which is the Act 1 end boss. And it gives you +3 to Blitz, and the cooldown for Blitz gets lowered by 1/4 of a second, which leads to more damage. It also adds base flat damage to shield training passive, in % physical and % internal trauma damage. It is a really, really good pickup very, very early in the game. We can't use it for another 4 levels, but that's still okay. Yeah, Blitz, yeah. Blitz Warlord uses Milton's Cask for the entire playthrough. And then if I remember correctly, when we built it out last time, you also used Shamblers for quite a long time. That Dale. Yeah, language, Dale. Dale. This is a Dale. I mean, look, I actually like Unkillable Blitz. I do. So, remember I was telling you guys you got to pick up those Sylph necklaces? We only have 1 of them, which is unfortunate. You actually get a really, really good early game ring from Torvin if you can turn in all 3 of them. Also, hey, Doe. How you doing, buddy? Don't forget to spacebar dodge to speed things up if you want to. If you want to. I mean, it's just a me thing. We all can't be Dale and, you know, level to 1 to 94 in 3 hours, okay? All right, Dale? Yeah. Looking at you, Dale. But yeah, no. Couple things we got to look out for earlier. Like I said, you're always going to want to look at your early game, like, uncommon gear until you hit about level... I'd say personally until like level 15. After that, it's all kind of like you're just gonna want to look at rares with prefixes and suffixes. This isn't better when we're wearing. We'll take that because it's got free chaos res on it early. And then we're gonna go pick up Dale's favorite item, and the hill I will die on because I don't like. I'm just gonna die on this hill now. So. Torvin's there. You go a little bit north, and we're gonna hook a left right here. We're gonna go across the walkway right here. It's not really an off-the-wall place, but you're gonna pick up an item called Isaac's Spolders, which is one of those early game items we were talking about, like Aurelian's Axe and Havel's Greatsword and Francis's Gun. It always spawns in the same place as long as you have the quest. It spawns in this little trunk right here. Just click it. You get a bunch of free items for it, but then... you get a free shoulder piece that's pretty decent early game. That no one really always has retaliation damage on it. The roll on this one's not that great, but it's also not bad. It's free resistance. Nobody complains about that except Dale. So there's no gloves in here, which is unfortunate. Elemental and Aether res is pretty nice early game, yeah. Like I said, we're going to dump all of our points in Physique early until we get to the later game. Then we'll switch them all out. Because eventually what's going to happen is we're going to have too much defense and we'll need a little bit more damage. And we can go over like offensibility and how DA works a little later. Right now, it's not important. You just kind of just forget it exists until probably like Act 2 or 3. I would say you don't really have to worry about it even until in-game. It's not super, super important until you start switching over to Ultimate and doing some of your harder bosses. I.e. like Ravager, Calgera. You can attempt Crate if you're absolutely insane. Make sure you can either go in this entrance or this entrance for the cave. It's got a devotion shrine in it, so it doesn't matter which way you go. One's more experienced than the other. This is the back end of it, so you're just going to come down if you go in this entrance. Soak up as much experience as you possibly can. It's never bad to be a little bit over leveled, especially when you don't have a lot of experience in the game. Just spend a little bit of time just kind of learning how the mechanics work. We're going to put 1 point in Minar's Will. Minar's Will save your life 99.9% of the time, and that hill I will die on 100%. When you hit 33% health, it's going to restore 15% of your HP and then give you a flat 40% HP regeneration for 10 seconds. I've seen people that don't use it, and that's almost as offensive as me not running Turtle. Like, if you don't have at least 1 point in Minar's Will, I don't know what to tell you at that point. I don't know what to tell you at that point. You need at least 1 point in Minar's Will. Even if you just forget about it, it'll save you. There's a video of us playing, what is it? I think we were playing season 6, where we had like 30,000 HP, and we had maxed out Minar's Will and got dropped to like 1,000 HP, and we were fine after that. Minar's Will is definitely a great thing. It's don't sleep on Minar's Will. I don't know why people sleep on it. I mean, this is actually pretty good if we weren't finishing the quest for Milton. So, now we talked about it. We're going to grab Turtle. That 20 flat armor goes to every armor piece that you have. So, that 20 flat armor in math-wise would be, 20 to each piece. There's a higher damage. There's a higher damage way to actually run the build, but I think when you're just starting out in hardcore and you're playing on a fresh save, it's better to be a little bit safer than it is to just not be safer. Like, you don't want to die and lose all your progress because you wanted to go Giga Chad and, do as much damage as you possibly could and then get one shot by something later. Pick up your Talapa port order. So we're going to do a little rotation right here. We killed Milton right down here, right? Those two other bosses that we need to kill to finish the something for nothing. Yeah, like getting one shot by Lucius because you refused to get Turtle and then losing your level 84 character in hardcore and then, trying to have to mentally recover. Because that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I'm going to forget it happened. So, Julius and Negan are right down here. Julius is right here, and then Negan's going to be right down here. So, we'll do a loop here, and then we'll go back to town real fast. So, we go right across the waterway. He's going to be right up here on the right-hand side. Or, I had that backwards. Negan's right here, and Julius is down the bottom. So, he's super easy to kill, unless you miss him, because you don't, you're really bad at blitzing things, apparently. There it goes. Okay. Let's not talk about it. Dale. I just read Dale's chat earlier. I missed him. I'm blind. Okay. So if you're playing just vanilla, you're not gonna have totems. Totems are really, really good for farming gear early. They drop a ton of gear and they give you a ton of experience. The only thing I will say watching out for, this green one isn't bad. If you run into a teal one with ethereals in them, they're the big chunky things with the usually crystals coming out of their back. We call those no-no totems in the early game. This is one of them. It's an Aether Warp totem. Those enemies do a ridiculous amount of damage. So recommended would be kiting them a little bit and not face tanking them. That's going to be your best chance for survival, but you're going to get a ton of experience from this, and then you're also going to get an absolute massive amount of loot, which is really, really good early game. So we're going to click it, see how it spawns everything. It didn't spawn any of the big ones, which is, yay for us. Because if it spawns the giant Aether, they're just terrible. They're terrible. I've seen them one-shot people that weren't even prepared to get one-shot. So I prefer move to on left click because I'm weird. But you see how we just basically just got a level and almost 2 levels out of that, and it drops you an absolute massive amount of gear. The higher level ones only drop rares. They do drop yellow gear still too, but we'll turn that off a little bit later, and I'll show you guys how to do that as well. Blood Carver is a pretty good weapon. This plank shield isn't better than what we have on because we picked up the slightly chewed buckler, which is a really good pickup early. We're actually gonna pick up this belt, and I may get a lot of slack for this when we post this video, but 8% physique and 17 flat HP regen, in my opinion, is gonna outweigh 21% flat resistance early. Because you're gonna get hit no matter what, right? We know that. No matter what you do, you're gonna get hit. You're playing Blitz Warlord. You're gonna get hit. But I think having the regen is gonna be more important than having even that 20% lightning res. Because now with that belt on, we've got 25 HP regeneration. Pretty decent early game. That number is gonna spike really, really hard later. Shoulder guards are actually not that great. Still bet not as good as the Isaac Spolder's bones. Straight to hell, we're gonna go back to town. We're gonna go back to Devil's Crossing. We finished the little side quests. Make sure you do all of the quests in normal. Reputation when you get later in the game, right here. I know we don't have a lot of it right now, but this becomes very, very important later, especially for sustainability and survivability late game. Sometimes you have to farm it. If you miss some of the quests, it happens. One of the hills that I will kind of die on is I know a lot of people that play hardcore in the community will skip from normal to ultimate in difficulty. I really don't like that, and this is why I will die on this hill. I understand that it makes the challenge harder, but I think for new players, running through the cycle and getting as much as you can out of Elite while leveling up is a better experience than skipping from normal to ultimate. That's just me. I prefer to do the entire loop. You can survive a lot easier, and it's a softer descent into a harder difficulty. Because I think if you go from normal to elite, you're basically, or if you go from normal to ultimate, you're basically losing. You lose 50% resistance up here and 25% resistance down here. I think it's better to full clear normal campaign, skip elite, and go to ultimate. See, that's maybe the hill I'll die on, Bones. I actually don't prefer skipping. I found it easier and more gentle to go through the entire campaign twice. It's easier to actually farm up gear because when you hit level 70, you're gonna have like higher tier prefixes and suffixes that drop. Right? So like when you hit level 70 and you start dropping level 70 gear, you have better prefixes and suffixes that can drop on gear, which gives you higher resistance counts, and it's way easier to gear yourself for ultimate. I think switching from normal to ultimate kind of is a harder challenge, but it also just kind of puts you in a worse situation. One thing is being faster, one thing is the experience. I mean, fair. We're gonna physique dump. Okay, so you remember how I told you guys you needed 5 scrap? So when you get that 5 scrap, you go talk to Barnabas right here. Barnabas is gonna go tell you to clear out the cellar, which is right here. Okay. So when we go into the cellar, we'll go there in a second. We're gonna go turn in Milton's heart to his wife, and sadly say that, hey, we killed your husband, which we already did. So Sister's Amulet of Life Giving is what she gives you. It's going to give you percent HP, elemental resistance, and flat health regen, which is massive in the beginning of the game. Also, do me a favor, don't ever sell the salt bag because you will actually need that way later in the game. And experience with player experience. Yeah, fair, fair, fair. No, I mean you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I think personally it's just an easier descent. Am I capable of switching from normal to ultimate? Yes, but after 4,000 hours playing the game, that's kind of given, right? Right? But I wouldn't expect a new player to just be like, "Oh, so we're skipping into the hardest difficulty and skipping the mid difficulty." You know what I mean? Because I mean, if you were gonna do it, how I would do it is I would farm up. I would farm up the early faction, like for DC, like Devil's Crossing, and do faction quests. Get revered at least level 50, and then just transfer over. Prison dungeons. That's underneath where we were in the cellar. So we went in the little door. Blitz is really cool, by the way. You can kind of do a little bit of I don't even need to do faction quests. You're not forcing yourself to lose all the res, but getting nearly no rep and augments. Yeah. Blitz gives you 300% movement speed when you target a target, and then you can just right click and dash to it. It does speed up things a little bit. Dale, that might actually be like the only thing we've ever agreed on. I'm pretty sure it is. See, that's what I'm saying is there's two perspectives to the difficulty skip, right? But yeah, make sure you're a little careful down here in the prison dungeons as well. They do a lot of poison damage. It's kind of the reason why we want to pick up Seismic Buckler early as well. Because it's always going to give you acid poison res, and even like the littlest amount of resistance early in the game is always going to be your friend. Boop. We have 6 points we have to put in real quick, but let's clear these spiders real quick, so we don't accidentally rip. Yeah, could you imagine ripping on your own like hardcore 2025 guide? I'd just have to retire at that point. I think I would literally have to just uninstall Grimdawn. Like, I'd be like, oh, well, it's all over. So, make sure you put 1 point in Overguard and you put 1 point in Veterancy. I know they're not huge upgrades, but a little bit of stats go a long way. We're going to put all of these points in, the remaining 4. And I know we could max out Blitz, but because we're picking up Shambler's Necklace, which is coming up, and we're picking up Milton's, we're going to have enough points everywhere. So, not necessarily inherently worried about dumping more points in Blitz early. And that's half the fun, agreeing to disagreeing, you know? I don't know, like, my favorite thing about the Grimdawn community right now is there's the quality of players that are playing right now, like, you know, Wrecked and Ground Zero and shout out to my boy Maximus Buddy. I think we're all really inherently good at specific things. And it's really cool for everybody to come together and just kind of like make different builds or different experiences for everybody. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you can follow the guide if you want to. You can do all of elite. You can do all of normal. Your main goal, literally in hardcore, is just not to die. Like, even if you take it slower, even if you grind out a snail's pace, if you get to the very end and you kill Uber bosses or Celestials, you win. No, I mean, it's up for debate. That's why I said it's kind of like one of those things where I feel like the community's split on it, Bones. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I'm at on it. Like I think the community sits like kind of split. You know what I mean? Also, make sure you do your totems early. You're gonna get blueprints out of them. Always do totems when you see them, even if you have the chance of dying. Um, these are gonna carry over, even if you die. Different people have different goals and different preferences. Exactly, exactly. That's why at the end of the day, like I said, just play it how you want to play it. I just kind of want to create like a space for people to have like a good blueprint, you know? Not necessarily like you have to play it like this, but like at least like a decent like foothold. Make sure you pick up all your blueprints. Say sadly you do die. Your blueprints carry over to your new characters. So then you have things that you can craft earlier to give yourself a little bit more of an advantage on your next playthrough, which is really, really good. There's a lot of these you're going to need to pick up. Like there is, I don't even know the number off the top of my head how many there are. No, and that's fair, Bones. That's fair. Yeah, that's why I said I think we're all split on it. You know, like what experience we're trying to get. We're gonna take a look at these real quick. This woven cord of mending is gonna be really good. We're gonna drop the belt we're currently using. Hey, Kane, how you doing, buddy? It's got Aether Resistance and Ellie Res, which are really, really good for Act 1. Your main resistances you're going to want in Act 1 are going to be Acid, Lightning, Cold, Fire, and Aether. Those are going to be really, really important for a lot of things, especially later. So we're gonna drop these in physique. Like I said, we're gonna pick up that belt. The belt's really, really good. We're gonna take a look at a couple other things here real fast too. Um, the Silver Band of Ruin is gonna be really good. Like I said, Aether Elemental Resistance. These are little things that we can switch out later that are gonna be really, really good to switch out. It's gonna auto equip it, but you see how our top row is looking a little beefy right here. It's looking a little good. Now we're gonna put on Milton's Cask. We're pretty safe right now. This right here, we're pretty safe. We're going to have to make a giant mistake at this point in order to die, right? Which I'm not saying you can't do, right? So that's that inherently, like, if you're at 50% or 40% right now, even in Aether, these are good times, right? These are really, really good times. Also, Kane, you at work, buddy? I don't think we have any gloves. This copper band we're gonna pick up too, actually. Just for the resistances. We're gonna drop that right there. This gets us even better. So we're just gonna push through Deep Mire. Okay. Violeth can kill you very, very easily. Oh no. Okay, so somebody just redeemed blind mode, which means I have to take off my glasses. Which is gonna be terrible. So, little TLDR about Violeth. When she has the little, what I call like the sun icon over her head, you'll see it here in a second. It's hard to see, but you're going to dodge on the other side of her when she does the tidal wave. She's going to hit you with a thing in the game called Sunder. Sunder makes you take more damage from literally everything. So if you can avoid getting hit by it, even if you're face tanking, avoid getting hit by it. Right? So everything else on her is pretty safe, but just go ahead and make sure you at least dodge the Sunder. You can dodge through bosses, so just dodge the other side of her and blitz right back into her. It'll save your life 10 out of 10 times, and you're not going to have to worry about it. This ring's actually pretty decent. We're actually going to switch this one out for the Copper Band of Scorched Ruins just because it's got 22% poison acid on it. We're going to grab that. See how we're a little bit more flat and flush now? Like I said, your reses are really, really important, especially early game. Like when you start getting more and more survivability, the deeper you get into the game, you still want to have high res, but you can be a little less safe. I know that's weird to say, but it's definitely okay to be a little bit more crazy. These are actually pretty decent too, actually. We're not gonna switch into them yet. Or those. So we got another point, right? We're gonna put that right there. Again, that 20 plus to armor affects every piece of armor you're wearing. Right? We're gonna get a little bit of DA out of it, which is defensibility. The more DA you have, right, the less likely an enemy is to hit you, and the less likely an enemy is to crit you. So those are really good survival techniques. On the forefront of that, the more OA you have, offensive ability, the higher chance you have to hit an enemy and also crit them. And then I don't remember the threshold off the top of my head. I don't remember the threshold on it. I think it's, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, please, but I believe if you have more than 300 offense ability over an enemy's defense ability, you actually do more crit damage to that enemy. I cannot remember the raw number for it. It gets a little lost on me sometimes because it's a little deep, but basically, if your OA is a lot higher than the DA of the creep that you're fighting, you're going to do extra damage to that creep. Vice versa, it works the same way backwards. If your defense ability is much higher than the enemy's offense ability, you take % less damage. So both of them are inherently good. But there are certain things that you're going to need to be able to crit for in the setup that we're going for. So now you come back to Barnabas. You're going to turn that bad boy in real quick. Bam. Weirdly enough, we didn't get another Sylph necklace while we were in there, which is strange. But when we do get one, we'll turn it in. We'll show you what the quest reward for that guy is. Now we're going to come up to Captain John Bourbon. We're going to talk to our boy up here. Got boop. Hit that guy right there. We don't have the blacksmith yet. When we get the blacksmith, we're going to put on some components that are going to make our life a little bit easier. We're going to stop by the shop real quick and see if my boy has any gloves. At least half decent gloves. He doesn't have... Wow. Hey, Ren, what's going on, man? I appreciate the raid, buddy. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. Wow, he actually doesn't have any magic gloves. That's top tier wild. Okay. That's okay. So we're gonna go back. We're gonna go back to the Foggy Banks, which is huge. That's gonna be a great time. So you remember how we picked up Milton's Cask? Milton's Cask gives us +3 to Blitz and lowers the cooldown on Blitz by 0.4 seconds. Oh, not much, man. Just hanging out. Making the unkillable. Oops, sorry about that. Hold on. So we're going to put 1 point in Soldier. We're going to grab 1 point in Field Command. This gives us 4% extra armor to every piece of armor we're wearing. You can never go wrong with that. Just 1 point in for now. Leave it alone. And then we're going to keep working our way towards Blindside. It's good. It's good, Renan. I'm having a great time. We thought we'd make the Unkillable Warlord build and do a 2025 like full breakdown of it on a fresh save, which feels weird because I don't have any of my stuff. Change plans? No, we're still playing the spinner, dude. We're still playing the spinner, dude. I'm not, so, yeah, we haven't scrapped that idea at all. No, we'll still be playing that, but, we wanted to do a, just change and pace a bit. Yeah, I'm not scrapping that idea. That idea is popping off. So right now we don't really have much to worry about. Pretty much right now you're going to be really, really safe. You've got a lot in your kit already at level 12 that's going to help you to survive. Minar's Will. You got a little bit of regen going in your favor. And quite the bit of early game damage, which is also nice. Make sure you find the chef. Free experience. Nobody ever hates free experience. Go back to town. Renin 22, if you guys ever see him streaming, is also a really, really big Grim Dawn streamer in the community. An absolute ton of builds and an absolute deep knowledge of the game, which is crazy. We are getting RNG absolutely destroyed right now because I'm trying to get a Sylph necklace to drop. And it's not dropping, and I'm going to cry. It's not necessary, but I just want the necklace so I can show you guys what you get when you turn into Troven Quest. This, by the way, late game, field command is insane. So, like, say you have all of your set pieces together and you have, like, 4,000 flat armor, right? Which armor after the patch is super, super important. Physical resistance, not so much, but flat armor and absorption are huge. Did you, Renan, did you finish your, acid, did you finish your acid witch hunter? Or are you still working on it? I mean, I'll say that my rotation that I like to do is kind of weird. But like again, we were talking about earlier, it's kind of like a preference thing. Because I do full clear. Already jumped far more MIs. Really good. Got the level 94 today and already jumped to farm some MIs. Got some really good stuff already. We're far behind. I got triple rare ambient. So, Maniacal Putrid Necklace. In light of this, allow me to pull a sword here. There's no direct right answer. Man, yeah. My personal preference for what I would do in any situation for leveling from normal to elite to ultimate is I've always done normal, like we do act 1 through 3, then we do Malameth, then we switch to elite, do the same thing in elite, then we switch to ultimate, and then we full clear through ultimate, which would be acts 1 through 3 to Logrin, and then you Theoden, and then you do Forgotten Gods with Korvac. We don't actually need to come in the tavern, by the way. Maniacal Putrid Necklace of Cabal is so good. That's such a good drop, Reddit. So one of the other reasons we don't want to go too hard into Blitz early, by the way, you see how much energy we're chewing up? Blitz early game is going to chew a massive amount of energy up early. Like we use 62 energy cost per cast, which is roughly it's like 14% of our entire energy pool right now, which is a lot. Also, hi Toma. Dropping physique. I really just want a Silk necklace to drop. This is actually crazy. I don't think I've ever had this bad of RNG and not gotten a Silk necklace. Hey, look, we just have to talk to it, right? Primordial the Forgotten one's pretty easy. Kind of the same thing as Violet. They're both pretty easy on both sides. Same thing, just dodge the wave so you don't get sundered, and then you can pretty much just stand in front of her and do whatever you want. Try to avoid sunder at all cost. Just because you don't know if you're going to get crit early, or you don't know if you're going to take a ridiculous amount of damage. Speaking of putrid necklaces, right in. They never drop. I don't know why they never drop. Sometimes they drop, sometimes they don't drop. It's a rough life. So we need 11 more points. We're going to push. Like I said, on the way, don't forget to at least 1 point most of your passives. I know we didn't put one in military conditioning, but military conditioning isn't really that good of a boost until later when higher health pools are obtained and you have higher physique. 1 point in it technically wouldn't be bad by build standpoints, but like also you can get the blindside quicker. Oh, hey, there was one outside too. Nice. Nice. All right, we're going to go back one portal. We're going to go to the rift, and we're going to turn in the slith necklaces real fast. That's going to be right here to the left, or straight, and to the left of the portal. Easy peasy, absolute lemon squeezy. Boop. And then we got to go into the foggy bank, which is really fun. I think one of the things that's still confusing me is I'm so used to seeing the ghosts there from season, and they're not there. That still messes me up a little bit. This is a really good. Oh, not that one. That one. The Slith Primal Ring is actually pretty crazy early. It gives you most of the resistances you need for Act 1 and 2. Because you're going to take vitality damage in Act 2. It's not permanent. It's not permanent, but it's a good placeholder early. And we'll more than likely switch it into that Silver Band of Ruin, which is on the right. We'll go ahead and grab that. I still don't have decent gloves, and the shopkeeper didn't have magic gloves, which is insane to me. We're going to go ahead and go like this. And we're going to go back to the foggy bank up here. That way we don't waste a lot of time. There's a totem over here that we're going to need to go get. Because like we talked about earlier, we do all totems. I don't care if the totem's out of the way. I don't care if the totem's in a place that you don't want to go. We do all totems. We do all totems for gear. Totems are life. And that is not up for debate. We do all totems. See totem, do totem. Also, early game totems are really easy. It's kind of like a snooze fest for totems early. Do we have anything we need? Ooh, gloves. Perfect. These really actually don't do anything for us except that flat in the percent increased armor, which is not a lot, but I don't think there's any other ones that we can actually switch into. Oh, we're going to switch into this chest piece 100% though. We lose the chaos res, but like I said, we get the overall res for Act 1, which is all elemental, fire, cold, and lightning. That's always going to be your friend. Krieg's Cleaver is nice, but we're not going to pick up that. Blood Seal is actually kind of good too, but we're not using Cadence. Yeah, that's all we're going to pick up from there. Not even shoes. Imagine not having shoes drop in like 3 totems, Toma. That's a rough life, man. It's a rough life. So Foggy Bank has a boss in it. We're going to go fight Shamblers, which means this necklace is going to go away pretty quickly. Sham has he's got a necklace that gives us more damage to Blitz, which more damage equals less damage taken, which means, you know, we don't have to just cry when we can't survive something. Soak up as much experience as you can. Is Shambler's Force Wave? I might have forgotten. Oops. Oh, that's right. It's minus cooldown to Force Wave. It's still pretty good though. Yeah. I misspoke. I was corrected. Oh, it's Krieg's shield that does blitz. That's right. Warden Krieg's shield does the blitz bonus, right? Make sure you just take your time. You don't have to speed run. There's no reason to speed run unless, you're just trying to level up a build or, especially on your first time. Like, you don't really have to, like, spend a ton of time, like, being like, oh my god, I gotta be the fastest Grim Dawn player in the entire world, Bloodbriar. That's not till Pine Barrens, I don't think. Make sure you're not an absolute noob and forget that you picked up Overguard. Because, you put 1 point in it, but you forgot to put it on your bar. Overguard's really, really good. It gives you flat damage reduction. Absorption in this game is really, really fun. Percent absorption is not as good as flat absorption. Flat absorption, like the 28 that we get from Overguard right now, works against, like, even damage over time. So, like, say you're on fire for 26 damage and you pop Overguard, you will no longer take damage from that fire for at least that 10-second duration, which is huge. It also gives you block shield recovery time, which is also massive, and then shield block damage, which allows you to block more damage with your shield, and then you can block more often because you're recovering from your shield block. And it gives you flat regen, or percent regen, sorry. And it's just overall just a really, really good pickup. There is a side point for it for Markovian's defense. We're not going to pick it up quite yet because it reduces our damage by 10%. And we need all the damage we can get early. We will pick it up later, though, because we're going to pick up a medal for Overguard that lets us heal when we pop Overguard. Which is a boss in Act 2 called Icarax. Icarax drops some metal that will save your life a lot of the time. Boop. That's kind of why we wanted to make this guide for Blitz Warlord. It's really easy to farm. There's not a lot to it until late game. And it's a really, really safe early game build. Now, outside of this, you can catch us doing things on a normal stream day of just absolute blasphemy. I know Toma and Dale and Bones and a few other people, my build ideas are completely out of pocket and uncalled for. Absolutely uncalled for. Toma said, yep. This bludgeon doesn't do anything for us except give us more flat damage. It's actually a force wave bludgeon, the mutant bludgeon, but it's actually super, super good for just increasing flat roll damage on Blitz, because like we were talking about earlier, it's 200. I think it's 280% of my physical damage right now, right, on my main hand. So switching from 18 to 24 flat physical to 18 to 64, plus a little bit more percentage is huge. I don't like that it converts some of my damage to lightning, though, but it's okay. Shambler is a little rough if you don't know how to fight him. So he's going to rear back here in a second and do the Sunder thing we were talking about. So anytime you see that symbol that looks like the giant, like, flashy sun above their head, just get out of the way. Until you learn how to basically just tank things, that right there. And I still got hit by it because I didn't dodge backwards. If you have it, don't run into Shambler. And if you do get hit by it, please pop Overguard. I mean, it's still better than the Sister's Amulet of Life Giving, let's be honest here. It's still just better. It's a good placeholder until later. We can't wear it till 18, and we need 96 spirit. Unacceptable. Now, if we can get like a insane roll on Warden Krieg's shield, that'll be massive. So prefixes and suffixes this game are randomly rolled for item like armor and weapons. So you can get some really weird combinations with some really good items, or you can get some absolute like legendary ones. Like there's common prefixes and suffixes, then there's rares. I don't know what everybody else calls them, but I call them triple rares when you get when you get a rare prefix and suffix plus a rare drop. I call them triple rares. I don't know what everybody else calls them. That's just my thing. So make sure you talk to Duncan. This is where you're going to open up your blacksmith. You're going to start here, Burwich outskirts, and then you're going to just go all the way right. That's all you're going to do. Everyone calls them triple rares. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I that's what we all called them, but. So right now, all you're looking to do is get better devotion shrines, and then we're gonna get turtle early, like I said. If you run into a giant pack like we are right now, I would pop overguard just to be safe. It's got a long cooldown, but it's a 10-second duration, so it's never bad, especially when you find yourself a little outnumbered like this right now. We're gonna actually kite this pack backwards a little bit, and we'll blitz in between cooldowns just to be a little safer, and kind of keep everything rolling. See, but like, we'll show you the difference right now. Like, I'm not getting hit for a lot, but like, you see how my health pool is going down just a little bit? If we pop Overguard, do you see how I'm no longer taking damage? And it's because of the flat absorption on Overguard. That's going to pair really well with a couple other things that we're going to get later. We're going to have a ton of defense and a ton of damage mixed together. Go ahead and side with Ingram. Ingram, when you craft things like relics and things like that, which we'll talk about later, he's got certain things that he can craft into items as extra options, and Duncan has certain ones as well. Bruh. Bruh. What's going on, Devil? Foresight Prime, thanks for the follow, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the war, baby. Ah, no! Wait! Don't look at my stream elements. I'm fired! Just kidding. Molten Walkers are a massive pickup right now, actually. Molten Walkers are going to be really, really good, especially since we don't have, we have magic heavy boots on right now. But the Flame Patch is really, really good early game. If you get hit, you basically create like a 2.5 meter radius around you that does fire damage. It's got a 1.5 second cooldown on it and a 3-second duration. So essentially it's always up in combat. So it's a constant damage buff. Plus it gives you a little bit of movement speed. We're not going to keep them permanently, but it's never a bad idea to just kind of put in a little bit more damage where you can. Do we have anything good? Nope. Molten Walker, Final March, and Explorers. Yeah. I mean, if you were starting like a non-fresh save, Explorers is so good. Like, if you can find the Explorer set early, that's insane. It's very rare, technically, to find early. I'm taking the sacks. Yeah, it's got better face physical damage, so we'll do more damage with Blitz. +7 all damage, a little bit of attack speed. We don't really care about that since we're playing Blitz. Attack speed's not as important when you're playing Blitz at all. Yeah, they do have less value. Yeah, picking up all garbage is what we're gonna call it. Things that you're not gonna wear is definitely a good idea early to just sell them back to the vendor. You do need quite a bit of iron bits later. especially when you don't have a character that can farm them until later. Like, late game farming iron bits is trivial, right? So what we're gonna do after we do Duncan down here, right, or Angram, we're gonna come right down here to the left. There's gonna be a cave that's gonna have another devotion shrine in it. Don't miss them. There are 7 in Act 1, technically 8. But you can't get to you can technically get to it, but you can't get to it later. There's a side area from one of the portals in Burwich that you can go to that has a devotion shrine at the end of them, but I don't consider that Act 1. It's in the Act 1 area, but normally you don't get to it until much later. I usually do it after we finish Act 3, we go and grab it. Like I said, make sure, especially against the spiders and things like that, you're going to be focusing a lot on just trying to survive. You're going to take a lot of damage early, and it's going to scare you. Don't panic. This is the Burial Cave. Burial Cave's got a devotion shrine in it. A lot of early game. We're going to grab 1 point in Decorated Soldier. Flat resistances, amazing, right? Little slow res. 8% physical internal trauma, which also translates into blindside very, very well. And we're just going to go like that. And we're just going to keep working our way to blindside. Now, there's technically 2 ways you can run the build. You can pick up Minar's Bulwark later for a little bit more like tankiness. That's the direction we're going to. You can also pick up Allurian's Rage. Allurian's Rage is not bad, but it's a less tanky version of what we're going for. This kind of setup that we're going for is still going to do enough damage to kill Celestials, but you can also not have to stress so much about absolutely getting murdered by making like one wrong move against like Ravager or Calgera or even Lokar if you're unlucky. Because we all know sometimes, if you're Maximus Buddy in this Grim Dawn community, sometimes we don't pay attention to the Lokar wave coming back at us and killing us. But I have no room to talk since we died to Lucius the other day. Make sure you pick that up. I'm going to reiterate again. Early game, make sure you kill all these Aether Clusters. You're going to need these crystals later for a lot of things, whether it be crafting or, redoing your devotion tree if you make a mistake. Those are going to be huge. But as you can see, we're one-shotting everything, which feels nice. Don't really care about... Maybe it's a hot take. Maybe it's a hot take. But I don't really care about individual enemies. I care about packs. That might just be a me thing. Like, if you've got one goblin roaming around, it wouldn't really waste your time on it. You always need at least 120 Aether Crystals per character. Yeah. Yeah, you need a ton of them. There's a good place to farm them pretty quickly, and we'll show you real quick. It's my favorite place to just farm them if you don't have enough. Make sure you're not a silly dumb head like me and forget to put your points in. So we're going to grab that flat 40 armor. So now see how we're getting a little tankier? We've got flat 80 armor to every piece of armor that we're owning right now, right? Which is huge. We're going to go ahead and grab Turtle Shell. We're going to put it on field command. Turtle Shell is going to save your life. Everybody believes in Turtle, except me until yesterday when I died to Lucius. Make sure you pick up Turtle early. Turtle's a really good saving grace. It'll give you a little bit of joy, a little bit of love. And then, when it's max level, it's a 5,500 damage absorption shield that has a very low cooldown that will proc at half your health. Make sure you open the stone altar in the middle right here. We get really lucky and get an obsidian seal, which is really nice early. That's kind of huge. So we're just going to get bored right here. We're going to yawn. We're going to do a little stretching right here. And we're just going to hold right click because he cannot kill us. We have way too much defense stacked into ourselves right now. Easily murdered. So Balros and Hagra are, when you're here, when you finish the burial cave right here, you're going to go left, and you're going to keep going all the way left over here until you get to the farm, okay? See, that's how we're in the Moldering Fields now. And you go all the way this way. You can just run it all the way left. There's going to be a house right here and a little aether crystal cluster right there. That's how you know you're in the right place. This house right here, those two bosses are right down here. So you come in here, you can charge that. Make sure you pop Overguard. Skip Ulgrim? What do you mean? You talking about the super scary boss in the cave? No. No, we didn't skip him. We already picked him up. Yeah, we already picked him up. Or we might not have, actually. I may have skipped him. Oh, no. No. Oh, I think we did. Oh, dude, that's crazy. I think we actually did skip him. Because he should be, I think he's right here. Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we skipped him on accident. That's a good point. That's a good catch, Toma. I sometimes forget about him. I really do. We're gonna go back for an NPC that we need for reputation and a little bit of love. Oh, the lightning grovel. Okay, I'm thinking about the baker. My bad. I'm thinking about the baker. No, we picked up the baker. That's right. Did I know my room is blue? Do you want to see something super cool, Dale? Do you want to see something super cool, Dale? Yeah, I forgot about the baker. I thought we were talking about the baker. Now my room is green. Like I said, because you're playing a cooldown skill, like I wouldn't worry so much about like the single mobs. If you can blitz into a pack and like kill the pack, that's gonna be kind of your saving grace. We're gonna go to Burwitch Village. Burwitch Village is part of the quest. You gotta open up the portal. If you don't open up the portal at Burwitch Village, you basically can't finish the quest line for Krieg. And then you're losing out on a ton of experience, and then you can't move on. So, also Toma is right. We need to go pick up Ulgrim, which there he is. Cool. Don't miss your boy Ulgrim right here. Ulgrim is another NPC that you get. Tell him about the prison. He's gonna teleport back. We're gonna get a little bit of experience from Ulgrim. He's also like one of the main protagonists in the DLC Malamith. He's got a ton of lore attached to him. So we can skip over the majority of this area. We're already level 15. At this point, you're pretty tanky. You can just kind of like push through what you need to push through and grab your devotion shrines as you get them. Those are going to be really important. Ulgrim was right here. We're going to hook a right. We're going to call it the left over here. This will take us into Burwitch Village. As you can see, the teleport's right there. These Burning Dead are always nasty if you don't have fire resistance and then you're playing a melee build. They will explode on you. I've died to them in the beginning days of me playing Grim Dawn. So if you don't have fire res at this point, or at least a decent amount of armor, they're going to explode on you in a pack and you're going to die. Then you're going to be like, wow, this game is terrible. And then you'd be like, oh, I don't want to play anymore. And then we, you don't want to hang out with us. I get it. It's a bit rough sometimes. There you go, Dale. Now it's red. Burwitch Village portal. Like we were talking about earlier, you can just hold right click and it'll basic attack while you're waiting for the cooldown blitz. You know what we could do though, Dale? You know what we could do, buddy? You know what we could do? Hold on. I got you. It's gonna be weird. Hold on. I believe I can do a complete light show. Hey, there we go. Let's get a cycle, Dale. Oh. So make sure you clear all the mobs. At this point, we're going to go back. You don't technically have to go back. Technically, you can just keep going. But it's really nice to just turn in quests, get rid of some of your like junk that you've got on you. You come up here. You're just going to sell all the stuff you're not going to use, right? We're not going to use any of it. I think I just sold something we were going to use, though. Give me that. I need that back. There's a Shambler's necklace. Again, I'm going to say it like 4,000 times. Do not sell this. Technically, it's really easy to get one back, but you're going to need it a lot later in the game. And if you don't know that you need it, now you do. Don't. Just keep the salt bag. Put it in storage somewhere. Just keep it. Technically, you can get another one really easily, but it's just... The game never explains it to you until you need it, and you're like, oh man. This Obsidian Seal is such a good early game pickup, though. That's nuts. That's actually massive early. Drop these 2 points in physique again. Okay, now the fun part. Now the super fun part. Everybody loves, Dale. Let's go over components. Because now we have the blacksmith. Okay. Components are your friend. Components will always be your friend in this game. They will help you with resistances on everything. One of the cool things that wasn't explained to me when I first started playing Grim Dawn, if you hover the item, you see how it highlights certain ones in your inventory. You can see which ones you can use out of your inventory. Some of these are really, really good. Some of these are not great, right? Like the battered shell is going to go right here on the shield. We can get another one later, but what that's going to do is not only do we get the shield slam skill out of it, but it gives us 10% chance to block on our shield, which we take less damage, right? Less damage is always good. Also, subserviently to that joke, more damage is also good. Because then you take less damage, right? Some of the early game ones that you're going to need to get. These anti-venom salves are your friend. These are huge early. You can put these on every part of your armor. The one place I would say that they're best in slot for, and I will die on this hill, and I don't know anybody who's going to argue with me on it, is your belt. When you put armor on your belt, it gives that flat armor to every other piece of armor you're wearing. It is the best place you can put an anti-venom salve early game. They're really easy to make. You just need 3 scrap. You've already got 64 poison acid res. We're going to go like that. We're going to put one right there. Now, in Act 1, I have capped out LA resistance and capped out poison resistance. We don't have capped out ether resistance, but we can deal with that later. Much later. Where to go? Boiling blood isn't bad to put on your amulets and rings. There's one later that's going to be better. It's going to give you vitality resistance and regeneration and a little bit of percent health. When we find one, we'll go ahead and put it on. For now, we're good. If you're ever missing resistances or you're ever missing anything that you need to actually like put your reses up to cap or be a little bit more safe, you can always come to the blacksmith, go to accessories and consumables, and you can come through here. You're going to get much better ones later, and you can make much better ones later. But the beginning ones like anti-venom salve and ghoul's powder are really, really good. Bristle fur is always really good. I mean, we can make a couple of these and just toss them on. It give us early game. It'll give us, let's see, an absolute ton of HP, which is nice. Having a lot of HP on a Warlord actually is really nice, right? So we're level 16 with almost 2,800 HP, right? And why do you ask if having a ton of HP is really, really good? Because of Minar's Will. Like I said, Minar's will is your friend. Because, right, 15% of 100 is 15, right? But 15% of 2,900, or almost 3,000, is like 450 HP, roughly, give or take. Did you imagine dropping to 33% HP and then healing for 450 just flat? That's a lot of HP back that you weren't going to get. Also, quick mass. Quick mass. I went through my other portal. That's my bad. So we're going to go back to Burwitch Village. There's much later components you can get that we can make, like ward stones and ruin stones and things like that are really, really good. But we won't be able to get them until a little bit later. Those are really, really good. The one thing that I will say that's a little fun about Warlord is you don't actually have to worry about your armor absorption, because you naturally get it through your progression on your devotion tree, as well as a little bit in your pathing over here from Scars of Battle. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I apologize. So from the portal, the quickest way that I know of, maybe there's a quicker way. You're going to come up here past this little wagon. You're going to hook a right. You're just going to keep on running. Just keep running. Just keep on moving. See, this is a pretty decent sized pack. We're going to hang out, right? We're going to kill this pack. And we're going to chill. You get to the bridge, cross the bridge, kill everything on the bridge. Like Andre the Giant and Princess Bride. Oh, there's cross my bridge. I can't be the only one that hasn't seen it. Like, come on. Everybody knows that movie, right? Blindside is a huge pickup for Blitz, by the way. Like we were talking about earlier, farm all of your Aether Crystals. Like, all of them. Okay, we're gonna go to that little house right there. I'm gonna pick up another devotion shrine out here. And when we were talking to the scientist back in the place, he wanted us to find his apprentice. We're gonna go through this cellar door right here. So right next to the devotion shrine, just go through that cellar door. Quickest way there. You can take the long way. I mean, it doesn't matter. There's a ton of entrances, but it's the easiest way to get there is from this devotion shrine and that left door. Wow, the door to the left of the devotion shrine. Chest armor is not bad. I mean, we're gonna take it because of the yeah, we're gonna take it because of the physical damage on it. Oh, we don't have a metal yet, but this one's insane. 25 flat. Wow, that's actually. Toma, what is that drop this early, dude? That's wild. This early. I'm gonna pick up the incorruptible ribbon of mending. 24 flat regen. Just gonna go right there. Like, we have got almost 100 HP regen with no investment. That's a wild drop early. That's that streamer luck. Don't bank on it. Don't bank on it, y'all. So we talked to him in the Salt Circle, right? He's going to go back to Devil's Crossing. We'll go talk to him a little bit later. He's very, very important for a mechanic much later in the game. But he's also really, really important because he allows you to destroy your piece of gear and keep the add-on, or the vice versa of it later, which you can destroy the add-on and keep the item and then put a new add-on on there later. Does take a little bit of resources, but later on in the game, like finding those certain resources is really, really easy. Boop. Appreciate the follow, Scarlet. Welcome to the ward. So what we're going to do is we're just going to travel into the laboratory for Krieg, right? Be careful a little bit right here in the Burwich Estates. You can kind of get piled on right here, and it's a little rough. You got to be kind of like... I wouldn't say it's really, really bad, but yeah, you can get swarmed pretty bad here and die on accident. The one thing I do want to tell you that I'm really bad at, and I'll admit to it because I've kind of fallen into a really bad pattern, make sure you pick up your journal entries. You can read them for free experience. I've fallen into a really bad pattern of just not picking them up because we usually run through this part very quickly. They're full of fun little lore, but like I said, they also give you like a decent amount of experience. Especially some of the later ones too. Like the later ones give you like 4,000 experience. Some of them in Ultimate give you like 10,000 if you're using an experience potion. We do need to hit blindside pretty quickly. Okay, the Warden's Cellar. The world's worst place. No, I'm just kidding. Make sure you finish out Tortoise. Okay. So one of the things on Devotion Shrines that isn't really explained very well is now that I have three yellow or white, whatever you want to call it, and 3 blue, I can take this point back and put it somewhere else. Kind of like, we're going to go back to Devil's Crossing. We're going to go talk to our boy. Oh my gosh, Toma. You know what I didn't do, buddy? The children don't have a roof over their head. I didn't give the children a roof, Toma. Go ahead and talk to Olgrim when you get back. Free experience. So, my boy Sahidian over here, right? You can go into here. This is why we were talking about you need those Aether Crystals. I only have 7 of them, right? But you can take that point back right there. And then we can put it over in Assassin's Blade, because we'll need Assassin's Blade later. Like that. So now we drop 1 point, put the point back over here, and we get a little bit of physical damage and pierce. We have to go get a roof over the children's head real quick. I'll show you guys how to do this quest real fast. And we'll do it from the Burwich teleporter, which we should have done when we were over there to begin with. But like I said, we've kind of formed some bad habits over farming so much. So go ahead and go back to Burwich Village Rift. And then put a roof over the kid's head. So from here, we're going to go all the way left. We're going to kill everything we possibly can, because once we hit 17, we'll have blindside, which is huge. Go ahead and grab that Aether Crystal right there. That's the bridge. There's the tavern. We're going to go all the way to the left. Bum, 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 bum. Abandoned waterfront is where you need to be. Bop. See how inside the building there's a little star right there? You're going to pick up 3 cloth pieces. You're going to pick up that one. It's a pretty good offhand, but we're not going to use it. Look at that, half health with 1 blitz. Granted, we need a little bit more OA because we keep missing a little bit. But like I said, that's one of the issues we'll fix a little bit later. So, remember how I told you we don't need attack speed? We don't, right? But putting 1 point in squad tactics for 8% damage to everything, nuts, right? We're going to grab blindside here. We're going to put 2 points into it. It reduces a target's defense ability too, which will allow us to crit more. Make sure, like I said, you always look for your blueprints. Those are going to be your friend later on. Always use them when you pick them up, because when you use them, it takes them out of the drop pool for the blueprints. Pick up the fabric. I'm going to pick up the fabric over here. There should be one more up here to the left. Yeah, there it is. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've even done this quest. It's almost like I have too many hours in Grim Dawn. Almost. I don't know if there's like a cap for too many hours. Normally we'd go back, but we spotted the totem up here. And like I said when we were talking about it earlier, we do all totems. Go ahead and pick up the log map book up here as well for the extra free experience. Some of the enemies drop them too. There's an achievement I don't have even after 4,000 hours because I'm too lazy to go find all them, which is to read, I think, like 200 lore notes or something like that. Still don't have it. I'm too lazy to go find them. I shouldn't be too lazy to find them, but I am. This guy's throwing poison balls at us. He's got to get shield slammed to the face. Oh, that's actually a cool recipe to pick up early, the jelly. Normally, if we cared about attack speed, we would put on these Zealot's gauntlets for a temporary, but we don't care right now. Yeah, this bludgeon's actually kind of nice. We're going to pick up that one. So we go back, we go put a roof over the kids' heads. That's going to give us more reputation for Devil's Crossing, and it's going to give us a little bit more experience. So now we're at the point where we're going to max blindside. When we max blindside, we're going to get a ton of internal trauma damage, which is like a physical damage over time. That does, like, if you minus an enemy's physical resistance, they take more internal trauma. It does not work the same way for bleed. Bleed has its own minus res to it, which always confused me because technically they're physical things. That still confuses me a little bit, but I'm not the smartest cookie in the cookie jar. We're just like casually walking out of town because we wanted to. We need to go back to the cellar real quick. How many times did you guys die in here? Like when you were first starting your hardcore adventure? That's what I want to know. Follow the long hallway. Boop. See how many more targets we can hit now, though? Like, watch. Like, we can destroy that whole pack with one right click. Blitz becomes an absolute monster of a skill later. It scales very, very good. Or very, very well, I suppose. Maybe that's the right way to say it. I don't know. Words are hard. Oh! That words are hard? Or Blitz scales really, really well? This stone face is a really good pickup for us, actually. That words are hard? Yeah, words are very difficult. So we got a couple new bludgeons that we can put in, which are really, really nice. But I need to figure out which one we're going to use. Yeah, we're actually going to use the Stone Face, the Abomination. I mean, you're not wrong. When your brain does have extra stock, like, sometimes you just full send it. Seismic Blast is actually a really good pickup right here. Look, we added 700 flat damage on both sides by just switching the bludgeon, right? So now we do bare minimum if we're not taking in resistance into effect, like 3 grand per blitz. That's actually really nice. We're gonna steal that because that gives us +2 to blitz early, which is a win in my opinion. This is not permanent. Do not rely on this. I will say it a billion times. There are certain builds and certain early game things that are good for blues. Do not live and die by blue items. If you live and die by blue items, you will definitely die in hardcore. If you want to do it in softcore, send it, right? Don't do it in hardcore. Don't be a Braskin, okay? Don't be a me, okay? We have no movement speed. Okay, we're gonna go here. We're gonna go all the way down. The only thing that does change, and I will say in Grim Dawn maps, is like I said, sometimes some of the paths are closed. The maps are still isometric. The capacity for the brain troll is very high. Oh yeah, I mean, like look at this damage already. We doubled our damage just by a couple levels. And it's like this is a very easy build to just ease into things. It's kind of, I wouldn't say turn your brain off because sometimes you do have to think about positioning a little bit, but for the most part it's pretty straightforward and it'll get you through all of the content in the game. Even crate if you play the crate fight right. But I would not recommend anybody to fight crate if you don't have a fight crate in softcore. Learn how to fight crate, then go fight crate in hardcore. And even then, be very careful when you fight crate in hardcore. But crate is like we're like here, right? Right? Crate's like off the camera, right? Crate's like way up here. We're like right here right now. Go ahead and break the crumbling wall right here. Nice, Renan. Renan, do you not? Renan. What do you mean shame on me? There you go, Renan. Don't shame me. There, now you can request songs. Oh, the Guardsman Hammer is actually kind of pog, but not really. Shame, Death, what's up, buddy? It's been a minute, dude. So, for you guys that aren't here that might watch the VOD on YouTube, we do play music live on Twitch. We do have a song request thing. But hey, 9 months, dude. Appreciate you, Death. Love you, buddy. But we do have a fun little community. We do hang out. A little plug for myself, I guess, since it's ISMR channel, but we stream Tuesday to Saturday, 12 p.m. CST to 12 a.m. CST. And 90% of the time, you can find us on Grim Dawn. We do play different things every once in a while, but we mostly play our RPGs. Cube Train. Death. I mean, you can go for it. I might not read it, though, Toma. Shockwave Sash. Okay, from here, we're going to put another point here. We could put in DA, but Agent Wing, I appreciate the follow, man. Welcome into the war, baby. So, we're going to grab this for more damage. This becomes very, 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 very important later. And it's a necessity for playing a Blitz build. There is not a lot of... Brother. Again? Blind mode again. Minus physical res and minus armor are very, very important for damage later. Not necessarily inherently early and normal, but later in the higher difficulties, like i.e. like Elite and Ultimate, you're going to need some sort of shred, or you're going to do, like, your build's going to turn into a paperweight, basically. It's be a really, like, tanky, just noodle fight. Are we... Okay, we're stuck? Yeah, Dad, that's good to see you, man. It's been a little bit, buddy. That door side goes closed. This little spot that we're in right now, by the way, is my favorite place to farm Aether Crystals. I know some other people prefer other places, but there's kind of a loop to it, which is really nice. So when we get all the way through the underground transit... Nice, dude. Oh, it's good to see you, man. We got a lot of big news that's happened. We'll talk about it in a little bit. We had a lot of things that have happened since the last time I saw you. Yeah. Same location. We just took the green screen down. So we're gonna absolutely just power level. We're gonna put everything in a blindside right now. So we're gathering all the experience we can, all the Aether Crystals we can, because we're going to need a ton of materials later for crafting. That's one of the things I can say, that if you're not farming materials, or you're not, like, getting as many Aether Crystals as you can early, it's going to come to bite you later on, when you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to farm, because you're gonna run out of materials, which not necessarily isn't a hard thing in Grim Dawn. No, we didn't have the, we just put these up last, actually this week on Monday. And I finished all the sound padding and everything. But we're absolutely one-shotting everything right now, which is a win. Like, we're kind of like in no-brain mode right now. It's pretty much easy street. We've got all of our reses, we've got all of our defense set up. We're gonna do a little TLDR on Warden Creek when we get there as well, so you guys know how to do that fight. I'm going to die on a hill right now, and I will say it on record. Veteran is a waste of time. Veteran is really, really good if you want to challenge yourself and, you know, throw your keyboard through the wall. But if you're playing hardcore, just don't play Veteran. Don't. Unless you're trying to prove a point, don't do it. It was, yeah. Blitz was one of the top 3 for the Season 7 League. Let me follow my own advice that I've been giving you guys. Please pick up your notes. Like I said, I'm really bad at it. I'm really, really bad at picking up all the notes on the floor. I literally just run past them and I don't care. But like I said, they're decent experience. We just got like 6% experience off that. Veteran is and forever will be a scam. Yeah, I literally think it's only... Veteran is the only difficulty, like, if you're trying to prove a point, right? if you're trying to prove a point, be like, look what I did, you know, like, cool. But other than that, it's a waste of time. Fed hardcore is chill mode. Wild. I'd say wild hot take, brother. Fed hardcore is not chill mode, dude. Death, we meant when I was doing the level 11 challenge for Krieg, okay? It's not chill mode. It's depression mode. There's also a note over here. I did though. Yeah, I finished it. Yeah. We clapped it. We clapped it. Like I said, best case scenario, I would just worry about packs. Don't worry about single mobs. But like little packs and groups of things, it's gonna be your best experience. Hold on, guys. We're gonna. Mordale's trying to find a song real quick. Hold on. I'm just gonna add it to the queue. Calm down, sir. Brother, it's because you're typing it in wrong. I love you, but that's definitely your fault on that one, actually. Oh, that's actually great. Dude, that's my new favorite way to spell that now, actually. That's so good. I was like, you just get mad at the bot and it's like your own spelling that's ruining it for you? That's hilarious. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, wait. Let me do some stuff in chat real quick. Sorry, guys. There we go. I was like, I don't know that Ice Cube song. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's spelling it wrong. Oh, I'm dying, dude. That's so good. Living quarters, kind of like no brain mode at this point. Just to be honest, you're set up already. You've got great defenses early game. You're not dying here, unless you like alt tab and don't pause the game. But even when you alt tab, it pauses the game, right? Oh, bot did roast him. Also, one of the best tips I can give anybody when they're playing Blitz, Warlord, you're going to eat your energy like it's absolute candy. Don't spam your energy potion until you're like right down here, because you're just kind of wasting it at that point. Because you're going to chew up a ton of energy early game. Later, not so much. You don't have to worry about it, right? But early game, it's looking a little rough. We are level 20. My stream. We are level 20. That is normally higher than what I get here at, but as a new player, like I said, taking your time, doing all the side quests, gathering all the journals, all the things like that, that's going to help you in the long run. Hey, appreciate you, Death. A gifty sub is nice if you, my friend. So normally if you're really squishy right here, right? If you're having a hard time in the underground jail, you're going to have a hard time with Krieg, right? Because this is all Aether damage right down here. This is going to beat you in the face. And it's not going to apologize. On my 50 gift subs badge back. I ain't complaining. I don't know. But if you're taking too much damage right here, I would recommend not fighting Krieg. we're going to go over the whole Krieg fight for you. But your best case scenario when fighting Warden Krieg is to stay close to him. Don't be like Brasking in 2024 in December on his birthday, where he had too much to drink and blitzed into a Krieg bullet and then decided to just die. Because it was our birthday and we were slightly intoxicated. When I say slightly, that is not the word I would use. We should not have been playing Grim Dawn hardcore. Dude, I was... Shit. Okay, Hidden Laboratory. This is where Warden Krieg is. This is the end of Act 1, right? Clear all the ads real fast. Don't worry about Krieg for a second. Alright, we're going to go over a couple things he does right here. See how he's going to blitz towards you? It's annoying. It's not really that bad. He's going to put a little symbol underneath you. That's going to cause Sunder. And then, like right there, you see how he does a little sigil? Pop a little bit of Overguard. Stay close to him right here. I'm going to show you, he has 2 phases. When you go to fight Warden Krieg in his second phase, as a melee build, just recommend staying close to him for a couple reasons. I'll show you why. It's not a great time. Okay, so he's going to transform into like a very big, scary version of himself in Ethereal. He's going to Ground Slam, which is like an AoE. It will stun you. That doesn't stun you, I apologize. That stuns you, right? Wait, hold on. Reiterate. Fall back. That doesn't stun you. It does a lot of damage. This, though, see how he does the little needles? That'll kill you. That stuns you. The wave stuns you. But he will not do the needles if you stay close to him. He will only stomp and only stun you. I need you to sit here and you hold right click. And then if you feel a little unsafe, pop Overguard. Boop. Easy kill. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. That's not a very great drop, but it's not terrible either at the same time. We only really want his shield, though. It gives us cooldown on Blitz. We love cooldown on Blitz, right? We can Blitz more. It does more block damage, and it's got more physical damage on it, which makes Blitz do more damage. And it also gives us physical res, which, like I said, since the patch isn't as important as flat armor. But... it gives us +2 to blindside and +2 to blitz, which is huge, right? So we're just going to pick that up and then watch our damage real quick. Make sure you pick up the Missive to Warden King. Pick up everything that he drops because you don't got to worry about it. You're like, all right, cool, I got free stuff to sell, right? So we go over here to damage for, right? Goes up by 1,500, right? Like, we're almost at 6 to 7k damage for one button. We lose a little bit of res here. Not a huge deal, right? We're not going to go home. We're not going to cry about it. We're fine. Pick up the Warden chest, just because that is devil work to drop a Defender of Devils Crossing out of that box. That's wild. We're not going to use it, but that's a funny, like, easy blue item that you can switch if you're not going to use Warden's Krieg. We're not going to use that helm. We're going to pick up that and that just because we're going to go sell it. All right. So this is the end of Act 1. It's not bad. Like I said, it's a pretty easy build. And then you craft Equilibrium. Yeah, but we can't use Equilibrium until 25. Because we're only 20. Can we make... Yeah. Ward stones are massive, by the way. Making 2 of these early and putting them in your amulet and your medal. Is Equilibrium 18? Oh, it is. I mean, yeah, I mean, technically you can go with Equilibrium. Equilibrium's not bad. Calamity is not bad either, but personally, Equilibrium for the 20% LE res is stupid good. And Tranquility. Tranquility will give you more survivability than Calamity will. Calamity is actually more damage, but Tranquility is more survivability because of the stun proc on it. A 1 to 4 second stun on mobs is massive. Calamity doesn't really work that well because we're not attacking that often. I mean, Calamity is pretty bad, but so is Equilibrium. But Ruination's actually worse than the other two. I'll take the 4% movement speed, sir. Well, I mean, technically, yeah. Yeah, the Bone Talisman isn't bad. It's 5% all stats. That's not a bad idea. It's also not movement speed, yeah. So, we're short on Pierce Res. This is a little concerning for Act 2. Act 2 has a ton of Pierce damage in it, leading up to Cronley. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick up, I believe I can make one right now. It should be Silk. I cannot make one right now, which is unfortunate. I need to have one res plating, which is fine. So we'll go resilient plating. The range skeletons be just sketchy too. We're going to make 2 of them real fast. We're going to go back to Silk. We're going to make 2 of these. And we're going to go over to our boy over here. Remember how we picked up our guy over here? We're going to go like that. We're going to keep item, right? We're going to get rid of the add-on, okay? Yeah, murders from Cronley Gang and range skellies are pretty brutal. So we're not dismantling, we're not transmuting. We're just going to keep the item and take the add-on off. We're going to do the same thing as on the shoulders. Right? We're going to keep item here. Okay? We're going to go back over here. We're going to put both of these on. Okay, now we have 74 Pierce Res. I want to talk about the season, okay? Season was rough. Then we're going to put Corpse Dust on. So remember I was telling you guys about you were going to get Ghoul Dust or Corpse Dust? Corpse Dust gives you % increase on regeneration, 4% health, and 10 Vit Res, right? So we just go like this. We're going to put 2 of them on. What do you mean, Mr. Freeze? Talk about Frozen Heart? I would have never thought that was what you call. Oh my gosh, Toma redeemed no glasses so long ago. Yeah. I don't really need Mr. Freeze. Okay. DFR, you're killing me. Okay, so after you finish the quest line and you go to pick up repair the bridge leading to northwest, you're gonna come right down here. You're gonna hook a left, repair the bridge. You need 6 scrap and 3k iron, which isn't terrible. You can get it later. We're going to throw on our Shamblers real quick for the extra physical damage. We're going to lose a little bit of LE res, but that's fine. I don't really care about that. And we're just going to kind of cruise. There is a quest line over here that a lot of people do miss because it's kind of out of the way, and we're going to go to it real fast. Oh, you're right. I'm not losing. I'm gaining 20 because of the yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah. It's a good point. Yeah. Dale, I tell you what, we'll finish this guide all the way to Celestials, okay? We'll do everything to Celestials, and then I will AFK close my eyes and do Kala. We'll hold right click. My band. So make sure you come up here, Arcovian Foothills. We're gonna go ahead and kill that guy. We're gonna hook a right here. Sometimes there's a totem over here. Free experience, free items. And say it with me. What do we always do? We do all totems. DFR, you're killing me, by the way, babes. Ooh, Explorer's Trousers, though. That's a huge pickup early. Remember, use all of them early so it takes them out of the loop. Boop, boop. Do we have anything we want? Oh, nope, don't care. Well, why there are postman but no post? Wow. Okay, so when you get to this tent right here, you're gonna come down. All right, we're gonna come all the way down here. We're gonna go all the way down. Follow the boars. Okay. We're gonna come all the way up here. All right. So here's the problem. It's been so long since I've done this. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna burn the kids in the thing alive, and I'm so sorry. I'm pretty sure. Nope. Yep. Lighting the kids on fire. Well, that's my bad. My bad. I messed up the quest. Hey, but a free torch though. Ah. You can save the kids. But apparently Braskin doesn't remember how to save the children. My bad. But yeah, it's the middle of it. Oops. Brother, I can't read half the time. All right. Act 2, in my opinion, is really quick. If you know how to run it. No, I didn't know you could just exit out. So we're gonna go all the way this way. My knee! Boop! Make sure when you get to the little waterfall or the lake up here, you're gonna come all the way up here. See the cave entrance right here? There's a devotion shrine in here that's your friend. There's also a guy in here that drops a couple different shields that are really, really nice. I find ghosts to be the most annoying enemy in this entire game. Thought about doing Fabius before. Nice. If I was going to get a Grimdawn tattoo, I want exclusive rights to every early access that they do. Also, shout out to Advanced GG, by the way. Much love. Hold on real quick. Okay, so we're gonna pick up the shrine in here, and then we're going to go and fight the shield dude on the end. That would be kind of cool. So as of right now, there's not a lot that we're going to be looking to pick up because Milton's cask is huge for us right now. We're going to finish up Blindside as many points as we possibly can because more damage equal easier life, right? This Tower Shear inherently is better, but not better at the same time because obviously we're not getting all of our bonus stats from it. The Alacrity Shield's okay. But like I said, what we really need to do is we need to grab Assassin's Mark early. Couple of cool things that come with that. Right now, its duration is really, really low, which kind of sucks. But the flip side to that is when we level it up, it's got a longer duration to it. And say that we hit a target with minus physical res, it's going to take more internal trauma damage. We could go over how minus resistances work, but that's a whole video we could make on itself. The formula is weirdly complicated sometimes, especially when it comes to elemental and then percent minus res and flat minus res. A whole video we got to make on top of that. But we're pretty much just going to chill through the Spine Cove right here. You don't have to go out the exit of this place, but it's quicker if you just kill him, go through the Spine Cove, go back out the exit, and hook a left. And we'll show it. Yeah, we'll kill Baros real quick. As you can see, our damage is like ridiculous right now. We're just kind of napping through the rest of this. Like I said, he has a chance to drop 3 different shields. This one's really, really good for Veil of Shadow builds, which I don't recommend doing as a beginner build, just because you're going to slowly cry. And then you're going to move back in your mom's basement and ask for pizza megabytes because you can't handle the stress. I'm just saying. So we're just going to keep growing. We're going to just keep moving through it. Brother, I mean, man, I wish I was living the pizza bagel life. I'm not going to lie. Pizza bagels sound good right now. You know what I really like as a full-grown adult, though? It's no joke. You know, sometimes I like getting dino chicken nuggies and just throwing them in the oven with a little barbecue sauce. A little dino chicken nuggie time. Hot pockets. No, I mean, so pretty much all we're doing right now is we're just kind of like pushing through the Crumbling Watch. Like we said, you're going to want to get Pierce Res for Act 2. If you don't have Pierce Res in Act 2, good luck. Dino Nuggies do just taste better. That's true. That's very true. I'd say if you don't have like a soft 50% Pierce Res, your odds of surviving Act 2 are not great. For a couple reasons. There were some changes in the latest patch. Well, the patch before last had some changes to Cronley's goons as well as skeletons. They can have different weapons with different prefixes and suffixes now, and I've seen someone get dropped from like 5k health. Skelly archers are really underrated, by the way. That's crazy that we get the Explorer's Cove. So you're going to come out of the cave there, do the loop for the experience. You don't have to. Technically, you can just go left. But like I said, we're trying to get as much experience as we possibly can. Now we max out Blitz. We're going to fully max out Blitz and Blindside, and then we're going to push to the very, very end of the Soldier Tree. We don't pick up Oathkeeper until later, which is our secondary class, which is what turns us into a Warlord. But for now, you're just going to push as much into a Soldier as you possibly can. Now, like I said, we can do a build where we just go full damage, no face tank Blitz. But I really wanted to kind of showcase the ability of like a tankier Blitz build. Because truth be told, like TBD, Illyrian's Rage mixed with Blitz as a build put together, it is a ridiculous amount of damage and a ridiculous amount of burst. We might still do it instead of going Mianar's Bulwark, but we'll see. We'll see how we feel about it. Okay, so you're going to get to this little portal here, okay? This little guy right here. You're going to go down, and you're going to go right here. We're going to talk to everybody in town. Hey, boy, Grievin. He's going to want to... He's going to have you go find a body of an old man up in the top left of this map. This, you need to go get a dynamite from in the cave. We'll show you where that is. Before you do anything else, though, go back to Devil's Crossing. Turn in the bandit quest real quick. That'll lead you, like, having better flow through your quest line. Let's go right there. Talk to your boy. If you don't talk to him beforehand, when you get to the next area, after you do this one, you can't actually, like, progress the quest line. So you just make sure you always go back and talk to him before that, or you can walk all the way over there. That's perfectly fine as well. It doesn't really matter either way. Dale in chat right now is going to hate the way I do the pathing on this, because, like, that guy's like a min-maxer to, like, the high T. But that's fine. Normally, you go in this entrance right here. That's the path the game wants you to take, but we're going to skip that way. We're going to go all the way around and go in the back door. Because that's the fun part, right? That's what Des said. The back door is the best door. We're going to all the way around. We're going to grab all the skellies up here because the experience is nice. We're going to keep on trucking. We're going to kill all the packs that pop up. Take a little nap. Make a little love. Get down tonight. I still got the Donamate. So we go here. So here's that old man I was telling you about. Elder Matthias. Go ahead and click him. He gives you the Lost Elder. He's dying, and then he dies when you talk to him. Poor old man. Should have hit his life alert button a little bit quicker. Couldn't get to him, though. His ARP membership was revoked, and he has died. Kill these packs, by the way. They're worth a lot of experience. Yeah, I always go through the back door right here. We'll go through the back entrance right here, and we're going to hook a left right here. All right. Left over here, follow the walkway. We're going to run into what has become one of the nastiest little mini-bosses in the game. I don't know why they did that, but gonna kill the Cronley gang real quick. And then you pick up the dynamite right there. It auto picks it up on the floor. Nicholas Balthazar, though, do not get far away from this guy if you are not tanky enough. He will shield charge you and kill you. It's happened to me before. I did not realize that they upped his damage so much in one of the patches. And then I lost my, like, 2 hours worth of work, which, hurt deeply. Deeply hurt. We're actually going to wait for our medal. There's another guy coming up called Moneybags Martin that hopefully drops a better one. But technically, we're switching it out anyways once we get to Smuggler's Reach. Dead Man's Gulch. I didn't know how rippy Balthazar was until I played a range character. And then I was like, oh, where did my health go? So you come back out the cave you came in. You're going to look down here. You're going to walk down a pathway. You're going to blitz over here because it's a little quicker. Destroy the barricade. Me personally, you can do two things right here. You can go back and turn in all these quests, or you can be super, super lazy like me and just keep going and then teleport back. But we're gonna go ahead and lie to our homeboy down here, that we didn't find the elderly man and maybe watched him die in the old brick tower, because he's gonna give us an early game relic that we don't have to craft. Which is pretty decent. Its activation skill gives a lot of energy regeneration, and it also gives 5% to all stats. So we're going to lie to him, right? If you don't lie to him, he doesn't give you the relic. But if you lie to him on your first playthrough, he gives you the relic. You get the Bone Talisman. 100% all damage, 20 flat energy regen, and it's a nice little stim, especially for boss fights. We're gonna pop that bad boy on, and we're gonna put it on right next to our Overguard. Now, I will say we haven't been using Overguard as much as we possibly should. Oh yeah, I never get it in FG. I always just get it out of the cave. Boop. And then we just keep blitzing. We keep blitzing and we have a great time. We could go left right here. We don't want to go left. You can explore left if you want to. There's a chest over there. Not really necessary. And we're going to blitz. And we're just going to take a nap. We're going to take a nap, Death. We're just going to come over here and just blitz that pack right there. Hard max and blitz. I think we're at 10k damage already. And we're just gonna keep going. Yo, I don't know what this song is right now. I don't know who played this song right now, but we're vibing. You don't have to go into the Stirring Hive, but it is really good experience. It's a really close, tight area. And you're gonna get royal jelly from it. Hopefully you get enough to finish the quest that's coming up. I doubt it. It's not a very, like, sometimes it's a frugal material. You'll need a lot of them later. The Grand Queen will slap you in your face if you're too far away from him. She'll shotgun you with poison. We got double royal jelly there, which is fat. Boop. And then we're just gonna turn our brain off, and we're gonna right click packs. We're gonna turn our brain off, right click packs. Oh, look at that. Turn brain off, right click packs. Oh, well, turn the brain off. Oh, look, we're out of energy. Oh, look, we just did free with our energy. It's real easy. Like, Blitz is very, very, like, low maintenance. It is a very, 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 very low maintenance play style. Yeah, the song's kind of fire, though. If you don't have one in your inventory, make sure you have a frozen heart either when you get to this devotion shrine up here, which is on your way, or you go back to town and you make one. We're gonna pick up these because we're still wearing magic pants, and these are better than magic pants no matter what we do. Plus, a little bit of OA never hurt anybody. Boop. This requires you to sacrifice a frozen heart to it. That's always good. We actually got a relic out of that, which is kind of nice. You know, for the longest time, I used to call this weapon Milady. It's Malady, by the way. I used to call it Milady. It's my lady. This is my lady Susan, my crossbow. The Milady crossbow. You're gonna come over New Harbor right here. Don't miss out on these quests down here, by the way. It's still Milady. So we're going to go right down here. Remember how we turned in the bounty quest? He wants you to come talk to Quaid when you come down here. So we'll hook a left. We're going to go right here. We're going to turn it in. Oh, look, the quest is done. Awesome. We have a deal. He's going to make you go fight Bandit Forges on the way to go fight Cronley, which is fine. Homeboy over here got wrecked by a troll a little bit up north. We got to go revenge our boy. You'll pick up the Royal Jelly quest from him later, right? And then what we're going to do is, because a lot of people do miss it, because some people don't like to explore, we're going to come right over here on the right-hand side. We're going to come down the hill. We're going to boop this dude in the face because he decided to think he was people and shoot us, right? There's a little quest line down here, which is always fun. There is a lot of secret areas in the game, too, which are really cool. We'll go over those a little bit later as well. Anything I can do help? Of course, I'll help attribute. Okay. Discover Elsa's fate. We gotta talk to our boy up here now. Extortion. Oh, look, he's dead. That's crazy. We turn our quest in. Freeexperience.com. Brought to you by a company I can't say. Not right now. There is a zone over here we can go in if we really wanted to. We don't have enough dynamite. It's kind of okay-ish. It's a nice little shortcut if you want to take it, but So, Old Arkovia, back to the portal. We're going to hook a right or left. Sorry, I apparently don't know my directions. Boop. We're going to boop that dude right in the snoop. We're going to boop that guy too. The troll is over here. There's only one thing I can say about him. He's like stupidly easy as a warlord. Like, look, we're already done. Took a nap. Had a great day. He does drop a pretty cool troll bone crusher, though, automatically and always on the quest run. You can farm these later, which is super cool. They're for a whole different class. I personally don't like going to the left and all the way around, but for the sake of this, we will. I usually cut through the mine entrance and then backtrack a little. But I'm going to show you the pit and everything when you go to the left. Oh, look, a wooden door. Oh, no more door. Boop. Like I said, personal preference. The troll bone crusher? Oh, that's right. Yeah, the troll bone crusher is used for Mistborn Talisman. You are correct. Yeah. I always forget about that one. That's actually going to be a pretty good item for us to pick up because it's an activator that we can talk about later, so we don't have to put points into cadence. Boop. Welcome to the champion pit. I got two things to say about the champion pit. No, don't do it. And I hate this place, but we're still going to do it. Aesyn and Aldrich, if there's one of the champions in the pit, it's not bad. If you're playing on Ultimate and there's two of them in there, I would not recommend doing it unless you're very tanky. Or at least kiting them away from each other. Lazy? Yeah, I know, right? Arcanium oil is a really good recipe drop. That's actually like a demon level metal. Yeah, Aldrich's really easy. The Stunjack homeboy is the worst. That's gross. I mean, we would switch into it if we were going to use it, but all right. So these little forges right here that you're going to find, they're hard to miss since they're starred on the map, but you're just going to boop them. Yeah, we would use the Brawler's medal if we weren't switching into Icarax's medal here soon. But you see, like, we've knocked off like a ton of cooldown on Blitz. I think now it's only got a what is it? 2.5 second cooldown from a 3.5 second cooldown. Boop. Just gonna take the energy regen right here. We're just gonna keep on trucking. We're gonna keep on trucking, having a nice little day. We're taking a nap together. We're holding hands in the sunset. We're gonna go to the beach later. You know, get some Mai Tais. Maybe have a snacky. I don't know. But we're just cruising. We're just finding packs and right clicking and moving towards them. Technically, we move a little faster if we blitz. Oh, do me a favor though too. If you are gonna play this, you can actually cancel the damage on your blitz if you dodge too fast, and then you don't get any of your damage, which is kind of depressing. So make sure you hear the connecting hit before you dodge, because you can dodge cancel out of your blitz. So open up your ears and listen to things getting smacked in the face with your shield. That way you're not wasting time. Another little fun little tip. See a little ring down here? The loot filter? What we're going to do is we're going to go like this. We're going to go boop. Okay. Now that we're level 22, we don't need magic and common items anymore. We're just going to turn both those off. And it's going to clear up a lot of screen clutter. You really only need to pay attention to rares now. Everything else, don't really care about. At this point, if you're still wearing yellow gear, we need to have a conversation. Either that or you need to go farm. Why would you not leave double rares on? Sir. 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 Do you want to talk about it? Welcome to Cronley's Hideout. The only things I ever turn off... What? Oh, it is. I'll be down here. I'll be... I was embarrassed. I was shamed. I was shamed that I didn't even see that in my own loot filter. I'm gonna go cry now. Boop. But we're just gonna keep blitzing. We're just gonna keep blitzing, taking a nap. Boop. Boop. With some Dale level speed right here. We're gonna make it to 94 in 7 days. I'm just kidding. So make sure you come down into the pit down here from the top. There's a devotion shrine on the bottom. It's a pretty easy one. There's also a book that a lot of people miss. Like, a lot of people. You can technically do the whole loop if you want to, if you want the experience, but... I don't have a mark... Oh, I do have a Mark of the Traveler. We'll put that on our boots later. But we were already res cap. That's the thing. Okay. Right here. We're going to come down here. We're going to get this little portal down here, right? And you're going to think to yourself, oh, there's just a shrine down here, right? You'd be right. There's a wizard shrine down here. But this little urn cluster right here, we're going to walk over here. Let's go smack that bad boy. We're going to pick up this book. This book is for another quest that you can't actually do unless you find the book. And it's freeexperience.com. And then we're going to keep hard... Oh, wow. That's... Okay. I sometimes forget how much damage Blitz actually does. And to appease the Dale Court, we're going to go ahead and go back real quick, okay? Because the Dale Court's going to, you know, shove us in a pit. You should pick up ward stones if you have the materials for them. I actually have them, and I never put them on. So you get 6% movement speed on both of these, and bleed and Ellie res, right? And they go on both metals. Right, so all you do is you put them on. You can craft them at the crafter. I know you noticed we crafted them earlier. We just never put them on because we're top tier, right? And then boom. Now you're a little bit faster. Technically, if we weren't being lazy right now, we could, you know what? We won't be lazy. Okay, we'll come back here real quick. We're going to talk to our boy right here. We're going to put our Molten Walkers in here, okay? We're going to keep the item because Molten Walkers are king. Especially early game and solo self-found. Okay, we're going to... Mark of the Traveler gives you 8% movement speed and a little bit of regen, right? We have 124% movement speed. Which nobody's going to care if you're moving slow or you're moving fast, okay? But they are good. They're good components for tankiness. The Wardstone and Mark of Traveler. Mark of Traveler is more for speed, but the Wardstones are really, 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 really good. Don't forget to mention Dodge Cancel and Blitz. Yeah. Like that? Like we were talking about earlier with that example we just showed you, if you time blitz well enough, you can cancel your blitz and then dodge through. Which kind of wastes a bunch of energy, but you can. But if you find yourself in a sketchy situation, it's a good way to get out of it. Especially if you blitz into just pain, you know, and you're like, oh no, my life. There's Moneybags. Make sure you always find Moneybags Martin. He's got 3 places he can spawn. You will always find him on your way. If you somehow manage to miss Moneybags Martin on your way to kill Cronley, I don't know what to tell you. Because he either spawns here, here, and he's got another place right before Cronley. Moneybags, Brask. Yeah. We're gonna keep going. Boop. Oh man, we're missing 3. Boo. 26 out of 16. So, for you guys that don't know, if a skill has 16 max points, you can get into it. You can go 10 above that. So those are called ultimate skill levels, which, you know, Blitz will have 26 out of 16. And we'll have as many extra points and blindside as we possibly can, because it's just going to contribute to more and more damage. You can try and talk this guy out of guarding the door, but you never can. So just always pick attack and then just beat him to death with your big shield. And then we take a nap. These are really good for Aether builds, which the community hates. We're just going to keep going through Cronley's hideout. A couple cool things that we're going to look at here real quick. I think I missed one. I'm going to go back and show you guys real fast. There's false walls in Cronley's. I did miss one. Yeah, I missed one. Sometimes you can get really good items out of them. I leave my screen stagnant, so I don't turn my camera or anything like that. I know a lot of people do. It makes me nauseous, so we keep on trucking. There's a false wall right here. You can break the crumbling wall. There's a body behind it. Sometimes it's got good items in it, sometimes it doesn't. But it's free gear, so go ahead and pick up both bodies. Might as well kill this pack while we're over here, right? And then we're gonna go do our best friend Cronley. Because you're so poor in the beginning, I would recommend doing everything and picking everything up. Just a vendor. You're going to get more bag slots as you do some of these quests. And we just keep on moving. We keep on schmoving and moving. And we take a nappy in the corner. And, you know, Death tells us we're doing a good job. And then we take a sleep. Okay. Right down here, you're going to hook a right here. There's another false wall right here to the right. My dog is looking like I owe her, like, rent or something right now. I don't know if you guys can see that. Just a bunch of iron bits. Can never go wrong with that. I'm kind of wondering if it's the light show that she's freaking out about in the office. I don't know. So, like we were talking about earlier, you can craft dynamite in Forgotten Gods, but if you don't have the Forgotten Gods DLC, this is a very good place to farm dynamite if you need it. Moneybags Martin will always drop you one, and then there will always be one somewhere inside Cronley's hideout. There's actually technically a whole loop you can do and run, but I find it easiest to basically just do Cronley's hideout. It's a one-stop shop if you're trying to farm Devil's Crossing reputation as well. It's a good little loop to get in to go from basically the outside of Cronley's hideout in. Just kill all of his buddies and all of his cronies, and you can stack quite a bit of reputation if you're the more farmy type. Boop. Mistborn Talisman that we were talking about earlier is going to be really good if we can get it. It allows us to basically what I call activators. So we won't have a default attack anymore. We'll default into the skill it gives us. We didn't take the time to actually look at this real fast. Eh. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, it's your boy Cronley. Make sure you kill these Aether Crystals before the fight starts, or else you're gonna hate your life. Okay? Step 1, kill the Aether Crystals. Step 2, talk to Cronley. Cronley's gonna give you a bunch of bullcrap, and eventually you're gonna be like something like that, you're gonna die, right? So, a little crappy part about Cronley. See this bubble? You have to knock the bubble off of him before you can damage him, which is very annoying. Especially if you don't do a lot of damage. Alright, now he's got no bubble, right? And now we're gonna blitz him, we're gonna walk away. Alright, and then blitz him, and then walk away. And then we're gonna have a nap. And then we're gonna keep repeating the process until we go to sleep. And then, oh look, Cronley's dead. Welcome to TLDR, how to play Blitz against Cronley. Or if you're an Arcanist, you can pick up a skill called Nullify, and you can take his bubble off. Boop. So we pick up the rest of Assassin's Blade. Assassin's Blade is life, remember that. Pick up the notes. Gonna pop in here. We're gonna right click all that stuff, and then we're gonna keep going. Oh no, save the children! Oh no, bring the children out! There we go, cool. Right click him. There are some more complicated pathings with Blitz that you can do for speed leveling. Those are a little difficult to explain. It requires like a specific camera turn, but generally if you can see an enemy and the pathing isn't like super convoluted, you can just right click and you'll go to it. Alright, Twin Falls. Let's clear out all this junk right here, and I think that's where we're gonna stop the Blitz guide for today. We'll have this posted and everything. If you guys want to leave comments on things I can do better, or maybe like camera quality, or just tell me that I'm fucking terrible and I don't know what I'm talking about, also, it's all appreciated. But thanks. This is my virgin video. I've never done one before, and yeah, we're doing a thing. So, cool. Love you. Mwah.